What a daft idea, loading a sporty lightweight two-stroke like a pack horse and taking it on a weekend camping rally. A Model 100 sloper would be so much better suited to the task, but where would we be without a challenge? The rising price of big Panthers and the ease of moving a lightweight in the shed and at the shops as we get old and feeble have increased the Villiers machine's popularity. We'll be sure to see other samples of the breed there. Friday morning, and the needs of the Panther 35 ES get priority. I'll set off with fuel tank and oil bottle full for maximum range. Fully synthetic oil has been my choice in two strokes for a number of years, a weak mix at 33:1, compared to the 16:1 recommended by Villiers in the old days of pre-mix two-stroking. There's very little smoke, and plug fouling is a thing of the past. We have never suffered a nip-up, and nor have we been troubled by the bearing failure, which was proposed due to a supposed lack of protection when the bikes are hibernating in winter. I hang a pair of canvas pannier bags over the carrier with a webbing strap, the tubes protected by pipe insulation. A precise lacing job is easily done before loading, and previous trials have proved that there's no risk of the bags impinging on moving parts. Years ago, discovering the frustration of arriving with tinned food and no opener, I created a list, an aid memoir, which has changed only in detail since our first Panther rallies in the 1970s. First in is the Coleman petrol stove, which has proved more convenient than our old pressure paraffin stove. This could draw as big a crowd as any cantankerous old motorcycle on start-up. The Coleman is packed, ready filled with straight unleaded petrol. In a spirit of self-sufficiency and in deference to special dietary requirements, I take basic foodstuffs for 2 days, with a picnic lunch to sustain me en route. The commissariat department has thoughtfully provided a box of flapjacks for snacking requirements. Cooking utensils, cup, eating irons and comestibles are balanced out on the opposite side by an inflatable bed and its pump, a wash bag and towel. With both bags stuffed to capacity, I pile on sleeping bag and tent and fix with a handful of bungee straps. The once lightweight Panther is getting a bit unwieldy now. How spoilt we were rallying with a sidecar. All secure and rolling out, the engine pulls well, barely troubled by the extra weight. A yawing motion in the first yards is mainly due to the rider's failure to compensate for additional mass, but it's low down, much more so than a pillion passenger would be, and I'm soon reacting better to minor frame flex. On this flatlands rally in Norfolk, there will be no power-sapping inclines. daft idea. We said that, but being back on this delightful little Panther, with the challenge of a ride to some purpose, makes up for all that. 20 years after I set up its seat, footrests and dropped handlebars, it still fits me like a glove. The engine responds to my wrist, and the slick little 4-speed box delivers exactly what I expect, from the reverse operation, down for first, gears beside the right foot, brake below the left. I understand that some modern cars now adjust automatically for different drivers, just as this rider does for different bikes. Somehow the unique seating position of the Model 35 programs my brain to do the right thing without thinking, almost all the time. We pick up a monster crop sprayer in the town of Whittlesea, but our routes soon diverge, and some urban riding is unavoidable if I want to take the roads less travelled. We are soon out on the featureless fenlands, so I'll cut the camera until something more interesting shows up. There really is nothing to see here. I'll wake you when there is. This favourite stretch of road between the towns of Wisbeach and Downham Market follows the course of the old Nene River, the main navigational link between the Nene Channel at our starting point near Peterborough and the Great Ouse to the east. The road snakes alongside for miles, sometimes obscured by a bank, sometimes visible, like this section which divides the village of Outwell, with dwellings on either side. Catching a knot of traffic ahead, I spot a couple of bikes, and soon hear the unmistakable beat of a big single. It's not such a leap to assume that it's a Panther heading for the same venue. As we cross the Great Ouse drainage channel at Downham Market, the traffic bunches up behind a rather slow AA learner car, and I see clearly the registration letters on the leading bike, EAT. Some members have been in the POC for over half a lifetime, many of them at the forefront of operations from time to time. And it's not just the riders that we're familiar with. Here is the same Model 120 at a club meeting in Lincolnshire earlier in the year. The owner of EAT, Rob, is the POC's webmaster, and he's riding with fellow section member Dave on a BMW. I'll catch them once the traffic clears. After a while they grab an opportunity to slip by, but our well-loaded Model 35 won't accelerate like a 650. I engage in a little displacement activity, taking imaginary slack out of the clutch cable, until the car immediately in front turns off and I close up behind the learner. The driver seems fairly proficient with clutch, accelerator, brake and gears, steering too, as long as he's not required to operate more than one at a time. I say he on the basis of the supposed greater ability of women to multitask. Then things go all to pot when the activation of brakes without clutch results in one mother of a stall some yards from a roundabout ahead. Glancing behind, I see my chance to nip around in the right turn lane, but at the crucial moment, perhaps with a little assistance, the car leaps forward again, almost reaching the roundabout. I take a deep breath, tuck in behind, and remind myself that I too was once a learner. And the bikes ahead sail into the distance. In Thetford Forest I pull in and break the seal on my lunch. I'm concerned about a new vibration, a slight flutter from the transmission at certain speeds, and suspect that the chain is running slack. A couple of flats on the adjuster hexagon cures it. Maintenance complete, we mix it with the traffic again on this busy route around Thetford. Maybe I'll seek out a quieter way on my return. I find the new rally venue in Scole, Norfolk, without difficulty, and after a word with co-organiser Will, find a spot to pitch my tent.
Hello, Will.
Welcome to our new pub.
How are you?
All right, yeah. I just see who's coming.
Yeah? Yeah. The roads are nothing like as nice to, you know,
I mean,
to Thetford.
Did you come through Thetford way? I mean, is that
Yeah.
the way for you? I suppose it must. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
said to the
is,
lads,
it is
one of the
really
lads
pretty
came
good.
straight down the way I will go. A17, A47, A140.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't get any traffic.
No, right.
But if you want to start going through Diss and Thetford and all there, it's
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic, yeah.
it's where the clutch starts getting a bit cooky and
Yes,
things like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, good. I'll find a spot.
In the pub, seeking welcome refreshment, I discover that the landlord, an enthusiast for the mark, keeps his panther in the bar. Saturday brings the ride out, a map thoughtfully provided to help us get lost in style. It's a pleasure to be riding without camping shuttles. I'm following a not Panther, but there's a Model 120 just behind. I ease off and beckon him past, so we can enjoy the Panther single's exhaust beat breaking through our two-stroke twins whine. Our destination is a well-known motorcycle emporium in Framlingham, across the border in Suffolk.
Very nice.
Getting two lots of smoke in my face.
That's like the old man coming round here. Well, I
Lovely, isn't
I can hear your little old boy.
Wring his neck and look it down again on that little sweet bit.
Yeah.
Ready to go up. And it don't go off real quick.
I can hear that roaring out.
That's a lovely road. Really, really
Yeah,
nice.
I'll tell you what, I've been running it on my outfit with the small wheels and leading box out.
Yeah.
So you're sideways almost at the time.
Right,
Lovely.
Proprietor Andy Tiernan greets us in his trademark red overalls and proves not half as dangerous as appearances suggest.
Been on that road, not that way. Morning all.
Morning, Andy.
Yeah. Hello.
He's a
How are
local
you?
man.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
He's an Norfolk man, yeah.
You're going to have this on Facebook, are you? That's bad, some Facebook pictures here.
There will be some Facebook pictures and the Panther Club YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. YouTube is good to us, you know. That's
Yeah,
a good
yes,
thing,
I
YouTube.
know, yes, I look at your videos.
I'm not
You can lust after bikes you're never going to own by looking at your...
We've got 900 up there so far.
Really? Okay.
Most we ever had bike watch was 407,000 views.
Okay.
Royal Enfield,
Yeah,
India.
yes,
Indian people are real keen on Royal Enfields.
yeah,
They
yeah.
get the Panthers, you know. They will eventually be the buyers.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. The Indian boys love motorbikes.
Right, okay.
Big population and they're starting to get money.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
And
yeah.
you can send Panthers to India without any petrol tanks on. They got hundreds of them, haven't they?
Andy has assembled his P&M and Panther collection outside in honour of our visit, while inside there's tea and cake and far too much two-wheel temptation. I take the opportunity to grab some pictures and increase my knowledge of the 325cc Villiers Model 50 Panther, which sits on our bench at home from time to time. A check of the Model 35's tank shows that the go juice is getting low. Will directs me to a nearby garage, but unfortunately all the petrol pumps have out of use labels. Diesel is available, but I once tried to run a Norton twin on that without success, and I doubt that a Villiers two-stroke will perform any better. I hope you won't embarrass me further by asking for details of the incident. A group of us find a garage, but get lost doing so. I break out Will's map and lead the way across the Norfolk countryside back to the campsite.
Laxfield.
Or back to the pub.
B 1117 will take us to Stradbrook.
Saturday evening, and Roger French's 1904 P&M gathers such a crowd that it's hard to get near. This is the model which put Felon and Moore so far ahead of the pack in early motorcycle manufacture. All-chain drive, a simple, effective two-speed gear and neutral, and the patented genius of replacing the front down tube of a standard safety bicycle frame with the engine as a stressed member. These design ideas at the dawn of motorcycling laid the foundations of a company which was in production for a further 60 years and still delights us daily with its products. Roger's P&M is a runner and a veteran of several pioneer runs. I should be used to this by now, the way in which 3 days stuffed full disappear in a flash. We say farewell to old friends and festoon the Model 35 with camping gear and the remains of our food supply, a few crumbs and a flapjack to sustain me on the home run. Thankfully, the event is not quite over. Later in the week we enjoy an overnight visit from POC friends Ron and Joe and their 120 outfit, heading homeward from the rally after a round Norfolk tour.